Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to Friday evening and with the Nerd or Two Movie Podcast. How is everybody doing? I am, of course, here with Giovanni and Alex, and we're reviewing two. They're crime movies. I just don't know how, because you can't, and we'll go into why you can't, but you really can't summarize both of them. Like, you can't lump them together because they are very much two entirely different movies. The movies we are doing, LA Confidential and Reptile. We'll be doing Reptile first because I feel LA Confidential is the far superior movie. And that's generally how we do the fucking reviews. How is everybody tonight, gentlemen? How are you?
I'm good.
Pretty good. Can't complain.
Doing well.
As tradition states, what have we been watching? Besides
I didn't
these
watch
fucking things.
I didn't watch a goddamn thing this week, man. Not even regular TV. I've just been doing other shit.
Besides wrestling and Pal World. Basically, Alex's week
I didn't even watch wrestling.
Dude, you watched wrestling on Discord with us with you. Like, you were watching it as we were in the VC together, and you were muting yourself. Wednesday, I think you watched AEW.
He was there, but he wasn't there.
Or it was Raw. See, that's the whole thing. He got so absorbed into LA Knight's pecs.
I can't pull up the thing on my computer anymore.
I remember you kept muting because you were watching wrestling. And, like, I remember hearing wrestling, and you're like, oh, you could hear that? You got at least 1 day's worth.
I remember. I did. Okay, on my phone.
Speaking of wrestling, did you see the trailer for the WWE 2K24 game?
No.
And it looks pretty
good.
I'm
probably not going to buy it, though.
I mean, you put dozens of hours into the last one. It seems worth it for you.
Yeah, I don't play it anymore now. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing. It's all an equation. It's kind of an equation, right? Like, if you play a game long enough where, let's say it's a $70 game, and then you end up spending $1 an hour, is that worth it? Because I think video games are one of those things where most people are willing to spend $6-7 an hour for a good game. You know what I mean? If you're getting, if the gold standard is $70 now, how many hours do you have to get out of it before that purchase is worth it to you? That's kind of how I look at it. Like perfect Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad, perfect example. At $70, that game can piss up a rope. However, at $20, Matt's all in. Matt's excited that it's getting shitty reviews so I could pick it up on the fucking cheap.
2K23, I think I paid full price, and I've only put in 58 hours.
But think about it this way. You spent $60 on a game, and you spent just slightly over $1 an hour to enjoy that game.
Plus, my file that I was going through, like the first 3 months, it fucking got corrupt, and I can't do anything with it.
Well, I mean, that's shittiness in the game itself. I will probably be picking it up. It looks neat. They've added ambulance matches and shit like that, which isn't a big draw to me, but I enjoy a good wrestling game. And frankly, I've played AEW. There's only one decent wrestling game that's out there on the fucking market, and it's WrestleQuest. What's up, Nikki? I'm joking. WrestleQuest is awesome, but it's good.
What were you saying, Giovanni?
I agree with Matt. If $1 an hour, at minimum, we should be putting $1 an hour.
Yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing. Think about your average, let's say, I kind of want to go linear, but let's say a Grand Theft Auto. Average, you're going to get, if you're just playing the story, 25 hours out of it. So if you just are a story person, then you have essentially paid $2.50 per hour to enjoy that game. Is that a good enough price for you? Yes. But then you factor in multiplayer, and it's a different equation. Same thing with Call of Duty. Call of Duty, I don't think, can be entered under that equation because it's $1. It's you paid $50. You've gotten way more than 50 hours out of it. However, there's also like the season passes, which are an additional $15 every 90 days or 60 days. So there's a continuum of $1 per hour per how much you're paying to enjoy it. But I think it kind of is fair enough to lump it in that spectrum a little. Chilling like a villain. Sup, gents? Hope all is well. All is well. I'm tired today. Made the mistake of going to the gym. But that's every day. Every day I go, it's like, why did I do that? I mean, I know why I'm doing it, but it's like,
I thought you were going to say every day was a mistake.
Every day since April. Wink.
Thanks, Jen.
We have been watching Mad Men. And one of the fucking awesome things is I'm watching it, and I was like, I know this voice. It's like, who the fuck is this guy? Then I was like, I know this guy. I realized that one of the characters in Mad Men is the main guy you play as in the game L.A. Noir.
Mm.
And I was like, And really, considering that game came out in what, like 09 or something, the facial reconstruction in the game is brilliant. Because I was able to like completely pick him out in like word one for one. I was like, that's that fucking dude. It was really kind of neat. But Mad Men, we what else have we haven't really watched a whole lot because we're finishing up The Office. We finally entered into the final season, so now we're in the talks of like what's our next comedy. She had brought up Big Bang Theory. I was more leaning towards Modern Family. We haven't watched either one of them. So it's kind of a toss. So we'll have to, cross that bridge when we get there.
Big Bang is not even an hour-long episodes. I think they're 20-something.
I know, but like, and I know a lot of people love that show. I just don't know if I can suppress my like, that just sort of like, fucking nerds. Like I'm a nerd, but even I'm just like, Johnny Galecki's not a real life nerd. Fuck that guy. The only one who's got credit in that goddamn show is Blossom. She's got a biochemical degree. Everybody else is just reading fucking words. Sheldon in real life isn't smart. Blossom's smart. Fuck Sheldon. She can go do complex fucking equations. What can Sheldon do? Read a script. That's it. Nothing more.
Produce
maybe.
Direct them.
Suck dick. I don't know. I'd imagine that's his thing, so. I'd like to think if I was gay, I'd be pretty good at gay sex. What's up, Sean?
Dude,
TV sitcoms are weird to watch. They are a little weird to watch.
If I was gay, I'd be so good at sucking dick, it'd be gone. There'd be no dick.
All right, but what if like here's the thing: no dick at all. Just the world is barren of dick. Well, but I think that's a fair question. And if we do have any gay people watching, maybe you can help answer this for us. Not every woman who is straight likes to suck a dick. Is there gay dudes who are just like, that's not my thing? Like I'm not a big dick sucker. I mean, it's only fair to assume so, right? Like not every gay guy is like, let me polish it for you, bro.
I imagine.
That's gotta be frustrating.
Sure they don't use the word bro either.
The gay guys I hang out with do. Yeah, I would have to, I think, be in the bear. I think, unfortunately, I would be subjugated to that community. I don't think I would have a choice. Like, I would go into a gay bar and they're like, you're with the bears in the corner? Yeah, they all have beers. They're drinking beers. This is cocktail section. Anyone know how to make a YouTube clip? I think you just hit the clip button if you can, but it's a pain in the ass. You got to clip the audio. I'm a bear. Just fucking over and over on repeat. That Staples button. Giovanni, you been watching anything besides anime porn?
Nope, just no.
I
am on an anime trip,
porn.
I am on an anime trip. I actually recently just dove into Goblin Slayer. And if you like Chainsaw Man, Goblin Slayer.
I did enjoy Chainsaw Man, actually. That was one of the few recent animes I've actually watched. I enjoyed Chainsaw Man.
It was really good.
I hate to sound like a boomer, but I'm kind of an old school guy when it comes to anime shit. Like Akira, Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All of the Studio Ghibli stuff. Like, I'm more that style. Like, I never got into Dragon Ball, so, like, that kind of wave of animation. That kind of wave of animation I never got into, but like the classics I'm clearly, into. It's just there's like 1,000 episodes of Dragon Ball Z. Like where am I? You know what I mean?
I never watched any of that stuff.
I don't have fucking time to watch that. There's like 700 seasons.
It's not as bad as One Piece. One Piece is probably the worst.
I saw a meme and it was a woman gets in the car and it's like, what would you do if I just got in your car? And she just sits in there. Is these two black kids and they look at her and the one in the back seat goes, we're going to make you watch One Piece. And the one in the front seat goes, all of it. And then it just cuts. It's a great fucking video. I think Goblin Slayer would be your gay bar nickname. Ooh. I think we've already got a ding ding winner. Winner, Matt's gay name dinner. Although I think I'd have to go with like, I don't know. Is it better to go in a gay bar with a code name? Like, like I've never been gay, so I don't know how these things work. I never went into a regular bar with a code name, but maybe, I don't know, Goblin Slayer would be the better thing to go in. Like, what's your name? Goblin? What? Slayer? Yes. Mm-hmm. That's it. It's in a bar. Maybe it's a nightclub. Loud music. They wouldn't even understand. So a lot of anime. Yeah, I too, there's not, how do I say this politely about the current movie market? There's not a whole lot of great shit coming out. Like, I mean, Benicio del Toro is in this movie Reptile, and I personally didn't think it was amazing at all. So, like, there's a drought for action movies. There's a drought for just quality movies. Every fucking movie Netflix puts out, they put one good one out and then 3 stinkers, then like a meh, and then a good one, and then 4 stinkers and a meh. I just wish they'd get consistent with the content they fucking put out. Same thing with everybody else, though. I mean, Paramount at least went the smart route, and they're just getting like movies that were in theaters. They're just like, no, we're not making anything original, but you know, we've got Mission Impossible.
Shows that already went to theater movies.
Yeah, or like they were good during COVID because they were one of the ones that had like a bunch of same day ones as theaters, which was nice. Beekeeper looks fucking stupid, but I do want to see it just because we are in an action movie drought. Like there's nothing out there, and Jason Statham roundhouse kicking people in the face is better than nothing.
Well, there's that one what is it? The something League of Unextraordinary Gentlemen that's coming out or something like that.
You know, did they reboot that movie? They're rebooting it because there used to be the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, this looks like I guess it's like a bunch of I don't know.
Oh, with Henry Cavill, that looks awesome. The Nazi hunting movie.
That one. And then there's another one with him, like Who is Somebody.
Oh, I think it's Argyle.
Yeah, Argyle. Yeah.
I've heard mixed on Argyle. The funny thing about Argyle is that's the movie he had the mustache for, and the reason why he had to have the mustache in Mission Impossible, or couldn't do reshoots or something
for Superman.
Yeah, for Superman. Yeah, because he was filming that Argyle movie, which reviews have been very.
That's a long time. That's a long time ago.
That just like, well, you got to wonder how long it got shelved for the actor strike. I mean, half of these movies coming out probably were made beforehand, and I'm presuming that once it wasn't just actors, it was everybody that got shut down. So that probably included film editors and all that shit. So basically movie production entirely was shut down by those. So a lot of these movies you're seeing were more than likely filmed like a year and a half ago, if not longer. It's like an old 80s movie at this point. Like there was a certain point where 80s movies were filmed and it was like out within 6 months. That's the Miami Vice era. But before that, it was like 2 years. It was crazy how long it took. Like nowadays it makes sense a little bit. Cause like if you're making a fucking Transformers, that movie's 90% CG. So, like, all of that work is what's going to take the work. Although, what is that new one coming out? They're rebooting something. I can't remember what the fuck it was, but I was kind of looking forward to it. I don't know. I don't know if there's any movies I'm actually looking forward to. The Monkey King looks kind of cool.
That one, yeah, that one, and Dune. I'm looking forward to Dune Part 2. That's really about it.
You know what? I haven't had a good nap in a while. No, I'm hoping in the new Dune there's a bit more action because cinematography wise, that first one was pretty awesome. Like just how it looked was solid. A little bit slow, but Dune, you know, it's an epic, so I get it.
Yeah, but this one's supposed to have I believe the big war.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm pretty sure it's the Deadpool. Yes, you're right, Deadpool
and the worms.
I cannot wait for Deadpool 3. That is from what Matthew Vaughn said, the director of X-Men. Was it Days of Future Past, those ones, or First Class? He said that Deadpool 3 was going to save the Marvel Universe. I'm 50-50 on Joker, dude. Not everything needs to be a fucking musical. I don't fucking care if... I have no problem with Lady Gaga. I quite like Lady Gaga. Even her music is tolerable. She's not a Taylor Swift. But, give me a fucking movie. Why is it a musical? It better be in the idea of, like, he's going so cuckoo... Like the episode of Scrubs. Yeah, Gladiator 2 starring Denzel Washington. What the fuck sense does that make? I'm pretty sure that's what I've read. That he will be starring in Gladiator 2. Why are they making a Gladiator 2?
It makes no sense. Yeah.
The first one ended so eloquently. His hand was in the prairie. He was dead. He was with his fucking family. Why are we making a second one? Civil War looks like fucking clickbait. But I want to see it.
There is another
horror movie
it looks like a pretty balls to the wall action movie, and they seem to be going pretty hard in the concepts of like this is what's gonna happen. But it looks honestly, I know it has to have politics somewhere in that movie, but can we just keep the real world politics? Like, can we just create it as in like, this isn't an extreme of everything, but instead there would probably be bullshit about Biden and bullshit about Trump or bullshit about this. And honestly, dude, I hear that shit in real life every day. I don't want it in my movies anymore. I just don't. Sorry,
You're saying Gladiator. I just found out that there's a British version of American Gladiator, but it's their Gladiator.
The British Gladiators, London Gladiators.
They brought it back. It looks fucking crazy.
They're
not so much jacked. They're not roid guys. They're just people that are
no, they're on meth and they can't buy guns or knives, so they're very angry and have got good at fighting. That's how we survive now. No guns, no knives, just the fists. It's like, all right, calm down, Peaky. Speaking of Peaky Blinders, the guy who has the Arthur, if you've watched Peaky Blinders, he's the one who goes, a Peaky fucking Blinders sent ya. He got just busted for drugs, which mirrors his character in the show, which I find a bit interesting.
That's rough.
All right, let's get into these. We're going to make this episode extra slow so you know what we fucking felt like watching them. Because they're good. LA Confidential is a good movie. It's just not fast.
Reptile, the slowest one of them, though, is Reptile.
Fuck, dude. Let's get into it.
LA Confidential has a pace that makes sense. Reptile has a pace that you want to fast forward.
So I'm gonna throw something at you about LA Confidential when we get to it, and I want your guys' opinion because I've seen this movie a handful of times in my life. This idea didn't occur to me until like when I watched it this time. So we'll go into that in a minute. But Reptile, Alex, this was your suggestion. It was a out of the blue. It's new. Benicio del Toro. He's in it. Let's fucking check it out. What did you think of it?
And Justin Timberlake and what's your name?
Is it just me or does he look like he's getting like dad bod? Like Justin Timberlake used to be like in great shape, and now he looks like he eats at Buffalo Wild Wings 3 times a week.
Well, he goes home to Jessica Biel, so.
But she's a fitness gal though, bro. Like she's ripped. Yeah, maybe she is. Maybe she's like, you know what? You used to be really hot when you had a 4-pack and some muscles, and now
you got
but
when she looks at the bank account, she's like, I'm okay with it.
Hey, she was in Blade 3, fucko. She's got plenty of money.
And what was the other one? Summer Programmer bullshit, the baseball one?
Blade 3. No, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry is the second movie I know that she was in. So
okay.
That. Those two. It figures the only movie, like, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. Literally, they basically show her ass. And Blade is Blade, which Blade 3 is awful. Don't watch it, kids. Stay home. Don't watch it.
Yeah, it's.
If you have a friend that goes, hey, I just got this Blade 2 Blu-ray, or Blade 3 Blu-ray, you want to watch it? You go, you slap them in the face, and you walk out of that fucking house because their mother probably doesn't use salt in the food.
Or season it all.
At all.
As far as Reptile goes, it was okay. It's its own little thing. It does have a big group of lulls in it, and it's 2 hours and 16 minutes. So they could have pulled out. Yeah, they could have pulled out a lot of shit out of this movie.
I thought it just felt long. I thought it felt like I was Reptile. If I can sum it up as another object, is like when you've chewed a piece of gum past the point of comfort, and now the gum is drying out your mouth. That's kind of what Reptile becomes by the end of it.
Yeah. But it had some good scenes and stuff. It had some good shots. A couple of the shots that I was questioning was when they kept zooming in on faces. Like it was just like you just see Benicio del Toro like this, and you see the pores, and it's like why? And then they showed the other guy, the bald guy, and it's like why?
There is several things about how this was made. First off, why is it so fucking grainy? It's 2024. Why is this so fucking grainy? First off, artistic choice. It's a filter.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, this movie's boring. And here's the whole movie. It's a very meaningless, small movie in that it is Benicio del Toro, a detective, solving a crime. Now, there are small little nuances and character developments within that, but essentially, he's just doing a case. And
he's a big-time cop brought into a little town. That's what it is.
So basically, his whole thing is they accused him of being a rat, but the whole thing is he wouldn't flip dime on the actual corrupt cops. So they sent him, down in there, and now he's kind of like big fish, small pond. Really well acted. Like he didn't do anything wrong in this movie. I think he did a great job.
I think everybody did.
Yeah,
everybody did.
Yeah, I had no problem with the acting in the movie. It was just the pace and the length. There were several hundred parts of this movie that could have been cut out, and it would have been fine.
Not to mention, by the end of it, you know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's very predictable.
Yeah.
It's predictable an hour in. Like
Yeah.
once they get past the
Yeah.
original investigation, you're like, okay, I know what's going on
Yeah,
now.
you're
Like,
immediately like, it's this, yep, bing, bang, and the puzzle gets put together very quickly. So it's not a very good mystery movie, even though it tries to be.
No.
Also, something that annoyed me was, frankly, 90%, except for the ending, this movie has no tension, except for the soundtrack for no reason
Yeah.
goes into horror movie soundtrack.
Yeah, like slasher film
The
pop out.
the
Like it was really weird.
at the
I was
beginning
like,
with
what
the
the
snake
fuck?
skin. There
Yeah,
was
Yeah,
a
like,
jump
well,
scare,
not
like a jump
not
scare
even
there.
ju-
Like why?
But the snakeskin, then there was a scene where, like, he's in his car watching, or in the house watching her and the contractor talk. And it's like real sharp, like, you know, like a fucking Halloween movies music. And it's like, why? Like, there's no tension in this fucking scene. I will say, my favorite scene is probably when he's like, how far are you willing to go? And he's like, excuse me?
At the
And he's like, you willing to die? And he's just like, looks at me, he's like, don't let me fucking catch you. Like, just the whole thing of like, don't let me fucking catch you. Like, for once again, everybody acts, they do a wonderful job. The entire cast does a great job. Benicio del Toro is the actor everybody still thinks he is. His character in this is subdued, a very calm, mild-mannered, throughout, you know, to show you he's somewhat of a simple guy. You know, getting a sink in his home was like a kind of a big deal for him. Like, he got this, you know, wave your hand in front of it.
hand
Say, "Hi,
activate,
KG."
a wave hand of it. Yeah.
I here's the thing is, I don't dislike this movie. At its core, I enjoy it. I agree with Giovanni. This movie should have been an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I would have loved it like that.
An easy 45 minutes cut off of this makes this movie so much better and faster paced. Because you could still do all the shit he does in the movie as far as the investigation goes, and you just kind of cut out the filler bullshit.
Like I think the scene where they actually walk through what's his name? Justin Timberlake. When they walk
JT, baby!
When they walk him through the crime scene, I think it takes like about 15 minutes almost to do that whole scene. It's like, why did it have to be that long?
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
They could have did it with a voiceover, just like showing the rooms as they walked along.
The secondary character, I don't remember his name, but he's from Boardwalk Empire. He was Jimmy in Boardwalk Empire.
He was also in Bully.
Yeah. His whole entire character arc was relatively useless.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
He goes to give Benicio del Toro, like, direction and evidence. Benicio del Toro really doesn't even take it and goes and figures it out on his own, and then they kill him off anyway. And it's like, his entire character arc, like, that's all wasted. Remove it. You don't need him. Like, I know you wanted to get another actor into the movie, and he's a good actor. I like the guy. But he's not needed in this movie. Seeing Alicia Silverstone as, you know, 49-year-old housewife was interesting.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember the last fucking movie I saw her in. So it's been a while. I mean, honestly, the last movie I watched with Alicia Silverstone was Blast from the Past. Which, going from Blast from the Past to modern day, was like, whoa. Like, she's held up, but it's also like, whoa, what happened to her?
Yeah, she hasn't.
I didn't even know it was her at the beginning of it until, like,
the face. The face is way more wrinkly and old looking than I thought it was going to be. But, you know, I mean, people age, and she aged a bit like cream and less like wine. It is what it is. I'm aging like cement. Just pieces of me are falling off. That's how that works. Yeah, I mean, you have to really, and here's my problem where I don't I also think maybe we should start giving either, like, we can give a movie a score, but maybe we should also say whether we actually recommend people to watch it, especially when we're in the streaming era, because there's so much fucking shit out there. So to start that off, the first one being I do not recommend people watch this movie because, like, here's the thing: is I can't recommend a crime movie person to watch it because it's boring and very predictable. Like, and if you're into a movie like this and this is your routine type of movie, you're going to see right through everything. So my honest score on it is a 5, and I really didn't hate it. I just feel like hour and a half long would have made it move much faster and wouldn't have been so goddamn boring in the end of it. So I don't recommend you guys watch it unless you're just hard up for something. And then I'd also always recommend watching The Raid. But yeah, 5 for me. And once again, we are through the 10.
Finished that movie.
Oh, dude,
The Raid. I watched it. I think Tuesday.
Well, so there's a whole bunch of bullshit about that movie because The Raid came out, and then Judge Dredd came out, and people were saying Judge Dredd copied The Raid the movie. And then you had other people attack people who were saying that the Raid was copied and like, no, the Judge Dredd was being made before the Raid came out. All of which is ignoring the fact that Judge Dredd did copy off the Raid graphic novel, to which the movie is based off of, which is the concept of Super Tower. We're going to go in and clear it out. With that said, Dredd is a badass fucking movie. I don't think we've reviewed it. We will be reviewing Judge Dredd original and remake very fucking soon. Just like
I got to see the.
Oh, go ahead.
I got to see the remake in theater and meet the actor. We got to ask him questions.
Oh, nice.
So I didn't get to meet Carl Urban and touch him, but I did see it in theaters, and I remember I was stoned, and in the beginning of the movie when she goes like this with the water and it goes to like the glowy slow-mo, I'm just sitting there like, and like this is when 3D movies were out too, so I had the stupid thing. I'm just like, she's like, there's literally the scene where she goes like this, and it's like 40 seconds of just like 3D water in slow-mo and sparkles and shit. Yeah, like I was sitting there going, "Whoa, man, this is pretty good fucking 3D, huh?" But no, I love Dredd. So yeah, Dredd and Dredd will be reviewing soon. We also earlier Alex and I had talked about we need to review Clue, so we got to find a movie to pair that with. Yeah, there's we got to start hitting the honeycomb hideout of movies. We just got to start hitting
Knives Out.
Have we done Knives Out? I know we did the new one.
I've never seen Knives Out. No, I've never seen either one of them.
We didn't do the new one?
Nope.
I don't mind. I mean, that's a good pairing. So yeah, that so like there's movies that we just need to have a discussion one day and be like, no, we need to review these. Like these are movies we haven't, like the Dredd movies. Just have never reviewed them, and we need to.
Yeah, they're both great. Yeah.
What was your score, Giovanni?
I'll go. Listen, the movie was way too long. I'm with Matt. I did enjoy this movie. I like detective movies. I like true crime movies. I like true detective movies. The problem is this movie was trying to be all three, and there wasn't a clear enough path
on top of being an indie art film.
Yeah, and it sucks because the acting was really good. The story idea was a really good idea, but it was just way too long. And I would say that a solid 5. I watched it. No, I'm gonna go 4. I've watched it. I won't watch it again. I won't seek it out again. There's no way. Like
I'm at that too. It's where like I don't necessarily regret watching it because I didn't 100% hate it, but I will never watch this movie again.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna seek
like,
this out.
And it's not even a one-trick pony because it's so see-through is the problem. Like there's no mystery to be had, really.
It's 2 hours, an hour in. The whole first half of the movie's crime is solved. And as soon as the second hour starts, you're like, oh shit, I know what's gonna happen. Like like and now you have to sit through another hour and 16 minutes of movie that you know what's coming. And it's like,
well, didn't you love the scene where Benicio del Toro has a dream of exactly what the twist ending is supposed to be? That was a great idea. Moments before we reveal the twist ending, we're gonna have the character have a dream that spoils the twist ending. That made no fucking sense to me at all.
I know.
Alex.
It's a 4 for me. The only reason why I saw it on there is it was something new, like you said.
Hey man,
and I saw the actors,
and that's the thing is it's got the sum of the parts should equal better than what it is. Like it's got what it needs, except for a good fucking director.
It had some good shots cinematography wise, but there was like some bad choices, like I said, with the zooming in. There was other stuff of just like
infinity
weird
pool
choices. Yeah. At least they didn't fucking rotate the camera. But
you know what? I would have taken the M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong rotation over like he's driving and the camera is just like literally there's all this island scenery behind him and it's just from a weird side angle right in his face as he's driving. And it's like, why? Like you could have a whole panning shot. You could have drone footage of above the car like The Shining because you're trying to go for your rip-off horror thing. But no, it's right in his fucking face. I hate that. I fucking hate it. It looks like a TV show. It looks like a Burn Notice era TV show. Not Burn Notice because I love that show. But there was an era of TV when they're like, for every monk you have 6 other awful shows that didn't see the light of day after season 1.
It's true.
But The one thing, like you said about the grain effect and the filter that they put on, they did have an issue where they kept using different colors that they were trying to do, and it was like they couldn't figure out how they wanted to do it, and it was getting kind of confusing. Like, is this the memory? Is this like the past that's going? Like,
I'm
it was just
glad
weird.
you bring that up.
Yeah.
There's a scene where he comes back home. He comes back to his house at night, and the pool, there's water leaking out from his backyard. I'm watching my monitor, and I went into settings. And I'm like, what the fuck happened to my monitor color? Like, the color palette completely changed.
Yeah, there's a couple scenes where it's just 100% cool pale.
Yeah,
it's weird.
And then there's scenes where it's like they have a warm filter on it, but it's not meant to be like a daytime scene. It's like a darker scene, but it's warm. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Like,
so with
I'm not great, but I could make a better movie than this structurally. I'm just saying.
With all that and the movie being a bit too long, it is a 4 for me, and I am not gonna ever watch this again. And I don't recommend anybody that's watching us watch it. Just skip it. Pass.
There you have it. Skip it. Fuck this one. All right, next one. LA Confidential. I love this movie. I'm gonna start that off. This is on Netflix, by the way, and I'm gonna give this a A+ recommendation. I enjoy this movie, and I'm gonna throw something at you guys. Is it just me? Or is LA Confidential actually a Wild West movie? Now
I can see the West vibes.
Yeah.
So you have those like small skirmishes, and then you have the like standoff at the OK Corral at the end. Like all these characters are much less men of a modern era, and they're like old cowboys, tough as nails. So like for me, I didn't even think about this until I watched it this time, but it really is. It's a movie set post World War II in LA. Yet it's very much got the same tempo and vibe of an old school Western, which I think is neat.
With the way they came together and the way the characters vibed with each other, it gave me Tombstone vibes, and I fucking love that movie. I love Tombstone.
Well,
so I just love the history between the characters in this movie.
One of my favorite scenes is when he sees that he fucked her, and he goes and just beats the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And he's trying to tell him, wait, I have to tell you something. Motherfucker, no.
But basic premise of this, and this movie's not actually basic. There's a lot of little interweaving plot lines that go on. Old school movie. This is from the late 90s. I mean, there's a who's who.
Yeah.
97. Danny DeVito, James Cromwell, Russell Crowe, Guy Pearce, Kevin Spacey, other people that you don't even know. They were literal nobodies at the time. Like the actor, the young actor who sucks the guy's dick, then gets his throat cut. He ends up playing a character, I believe, on Grey's Anatomy. He's one of the like McDreamy characters. Eric something, I think is his name. So like, it is a little weird how much of a who's who this movie is. They were legitimately like, we need an all-star cast. Kim Basinger, even though I'm not a huge fan.
They still weren't able to get American actors to play Americans.
Yeah, for sure.
Guy Pearce and Russell Crowe are both Australian. Danny DeVito's American. Is James Cromwell actually Irish? I don't think he is.
He plays Irish a lot.
Does he? Maybe he is.
Yeah.
Irish. I thought he was Irish in this movie.
And he always has an Irish accent. That when he was in Star Trek, it came out too.
He's definitely an Irish flatfoot in this movie, but I've never heard him in a movie go, "Hey, boyo," like he did in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to check if he's actually Irish. He always plays a great bad guy.
Like every time he kept saying, "Hey lad, hey lad," it kept coming out every time he said "lad."
But
the bad guys plays.
Maybe it's just me.
They're always like background bad guys. Like you don't know they're bad guys until as the movie progresses, you get to the end and you're like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you remember him from Eraser when he's like, "God damn you for making me do this," and then blows his own head off. Like he's always a piece of shit in the movie. Even Jen was like, "Is this guy ever a good guy?" And I'm like, I don't think so.
Oh, yeah.
The Kevin Spacey murder fucked her up. Like she had no idea it was coming, and he pops him and she's like, she literally gasped. And I knew it was coming because I remembered. And like, she should realize this after 15 years. I get real quiet when parts of movies are going to be like, you need to fucking pay attention. Matt shuts the fuck up. And she should have got the hint. And she just didn't. And I'm like, she's not ready for this. And then sure enough, fucking boom. And I'm like, and she's like, and I even asked her, I was like, you didn't see that coming at all? She's like, no, not at all. She was genuinely shocked.
One
It's
of the
awesome.
one of the first few lines of Kevin Spacey kind of made me chuckle. When they were talking about how who's the guy? He's like, oh, that's the guy that I'm teaching to be a cop. And then she says, well, he's like, that's not your type of cop. He's like, yeah, I'm not that type of cop. He's a TV cop, and I'm a real cop. And he says, he's like, America's not ready for me yet. And I just kind of like chuckled. I'm like, yeah, they weren't ready for you yet until like a couple years ago.
Neither was Anthony Rapp. Allegedly. I don't want Frank, whatever his name is, coming after me in an awkward YouTube video.
The charges were dropped, right?
Yeah, he's definitely doesn't have it on his criminal record. So, I mean, here's the thing, his records, he's fucked. Like, I think he might be starting to go back to movies, but I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Nonetheless, he's a great actor.
I always thought he was a good actor. Yeah,
he is. He's a great fucking actor. Like, he is one of those actors that will take on any role he does. He'll do it well. And it doesn't matter. Like, I even liked him in Men Who Stare at Goats. Like the end of the movie where they're all spiked with LSD. He's got the gun on him and he's just like, I'm hungry. And then just like runs away to go get something to eat. Like, I like Kevin Spacey, much in the same vein as I like Vince McMahon. They're probably horrible. Vince McMahon is a horrible person. Kevin Spacey, even though he legally, okay, he's also a horrible person. It is what it is. I could still go watch a fucking Mel Gibson movie and enjoy it. Who cares? Get over it.
Mel Gibson, I think, gets a pass because regardless of what he thinks or says, he has proven he is a good actor and a good director.
The problem with Mel Gibson, like, even if you ignore his terrible verbal violence towards his ex-wife, just him getting drunk and getting pulled over and going, you a Jew? Like, what the fuck, man? Like, what is your problem? Like, you're not even, like, where does it come from? Because you're not even fucking American. You're Australian. You're Australian. Like, yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, here's the thing. The thing with his ex-wife, I don't condone it, but I understand where a man could get to that point. Like, literally, he left his wife of, like, 20 years for this chick, knocked this chick up. He hates this chick, hates his situation. I at least understand where that anger comes from. I don't necessarily where the anger of, like, you're clearly drunk and driving and you're just like, like, my name's Officer O'Malley, you fuck. What? Like, what? Yeah, I don't know. I like Mel Gibson, but he's another one that's in the old, like, cuckoo bin. But I'll watch his movies. I don't fucking care. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing is, the problem with this movie is I still don't want to spoil it. Because if you are like like a noir or a thriller fan, and I know it's old and spoiling it is stupid at this point, but if you haven't seen it and you're into a movie where you kind of like some mystery and you kind of like a storyline that doesn't exactly lead your hand, like Reptile, this is a really good one. I really like this movie. I forgot how much action was in it.
Yeah, it had a lot more action than Reptile
bit,
even had.
Well, I thought this movie didn't have that much. My memory told me it's not. I even told Jenna, I was like, there's not much action in this movie. And she's like, oh, that's okay. But surprisingly more than I thought I was going to have. Pleasantly more.
And for 2 hours and 18 minutes, this is 2 minutes longer than Reptile.
But this is how you do it, though. The first hour, you're introduced to everybody. Everybody gets their own cases. The second hour, everything weaves together beautifully. Like, it just comes together perfectly. Like, it's a great movie.
And once again, another movie that was incredibly well acted by everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody did their role great, down to Danny DeVito. So, like, all of the characters ping off each other really well. All of the actors did really well acting. The storyline's great. The set pieces are nice. It's got that old school Hollywood look to it. This is a definite recommend for me. And I'm sorry this might be a bit of a short episode, guys, but, like, because we could get into what our favorite scenes are. But
and that'll spoil. It'll really spoil.
Yeah, I don't
we'll
want
have
to
no
spoil
choice.
it. I don't want to spoil it.
And it is one of those movies that I think it would be best appreciated if you didn't really fucking know what's going to happen, especially if you haven't seen it. It is on Netflix, so if you are looking for kind of a cozy crime thriller at home type of night, throw this one on. It's pretty enjoyable.
I did find the names amusing though. Bud White.
I kept calling him Bud Light.
I kept saying the same thing.
Yeah, Bud Light's here. You know what we forgot to do for the last
Hollywood Jack?
The last score?
Oh
Chicago hot
yeah.
dog reviews.
Damn.
All right, before we go into the hot dog reviews, what a tough best picture for this year. What is the best picture nominees for this year? I don't generally care for Hollywood's opinion on themselves, to be honest with you.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I think all reward programs are scams.
They all are, dude.
Yeah.
They all
Like,
are.
people
I mean,
don't give a
they're
shit
rigged.
about seeing celebrities get drunk anymore. What do we got? The Holdovers, that is Paul Giamatti, I believe. American Fiction, The Zone of Interest, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Past Lives, Anatomy of a Fall, Maestro, and Killers of the Flower Moon. Well, it's either going to be Oppenheimer or Killers of the Flower Moon.
Another Scorsese.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but it does look really good.
I know. I want to watch it too.
Is it 3 hours good?
Yeah,
What,
I
3
mean,
hours
for
and 30
me.
minutes?
Oh, he's talking about when LA Confidential came out. Good Will Hunting, Oh, shit, that is rough. As good as it gets, you could throw away. But Donnie
Brasco.
Man, but the star power in that room at that time. You know what I mean? Like, that is an Oscar I'd like to be in the room for, to be there.
How does as good as it gets put in there? I don't get it. That's got to be.
That's politics.
But
yeah, that's true.
It's purely because Nicholson was in the fucking movie, because As Good as It Gets doesn't deserve it. Wait, Apple TV has Flowers of the Moon?
It does, yeah.
Oh, like I said, I found out I have Apple TV, so we're watching that this decade.
I meant to tell you, I checked it out the other night, and before you even checked it out, and I saw that you had it.
I have to watch. Dude, Con Air? Don't even get me started on Con Air. I love that fucking movie.
Great movie, yeah.
I'm going to show you God does exist. And then what is that other line he has where he's like, it's not exactly Mai Tais and Yahtzee out here. Like, who the fuck says that? Like, what? Is that a Southern thing, or is that just bad writing? Like I've never heard anybody go, it's not Mai Tais and Yahtzee. Who the fuck drinks Mai Tais and plays Yahtzee?
It's just Nicolas Cage ad-libbing and shit.
Yeah, it's just him.
All right, I got an idea. What if, Nick, you don't have to do the accent. We're not filming. I know, but I like to stay in character. And it's like, yeah, but you're starting to sound like Elvis. All right, I'm back. Put the bunny back in the box. I always found that part funny. And then towards the end, when John Malkovich is like got a gun to the bunny's head, that still makes me fucking laugh. I remember the cop with the sports car that gets destroyed. I was watching it, and he's very foul-mouthed in the movie. Like, he's fuck this, fuck that, fuck this. And my dad walked in right as he comes on screen, and he's like, who the fuck is this guy? And my dad's like, the fuck are you watching? And I'm like, Con Air. And he's like, all right. And like walked away. My parents are weird. They didn't give a shit about violence. They didn't love cussing. But one day, my brother was like, Mom swears more than my rap CDs. My dad was like, how am I supposed to tell him not to listen to the fucking shit when you're... It is what it is now, isn't it? Like, you fucked me. And so language then became not a problem. It was just nudity. Like, I don't think I've ever seen more than about 20 minutes of the movie Species.
That movie is a porno just with...
Yeah, my dad, every 5 seconds, close your eyes. My dad is the type, too, like, when that would come out, he'd be like, oh, son of a bitch, and he's, like, fumbling with the remote to fast forward it.
Matt's like, I got to watch the credits of Species.
Yeah, I got to see when, like, she went to go, like, suck his brain out or something, but only if tits weren't in the image. Other than that, I missed all the good stuff. Like, literally, I missed the boobs, I missed the violence, I got nothing out of that fucking movie. That's why I don't care about it to this day, because I've never really fucking seen it. I'll just go see Aliens. I think the white panty look is much classier. Dave Chappelle is in Con Air. There's a bunch of really good guys in Con Air. Bing Rames. That one guy with the gravelly voice, John Malkovich, Danny Trejo.
Would you ever be up for watching Being John Malkovich one day?
Yes, I have. I like that movie.
That'd be fun.
If we do that, we should pair it with like High Fidelity. Like if we're gonna
it's a good one.
Like here's the thing,
or Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind.
Okay, we'll pair those two, but we gotta review Grosse Pointe Blank. We've never reviewed that movie either. I love that movie. I'm not a big. I like a lot of Cusack's movies, but I don't like Cusack. I think he's a fucking idiot.
He's become one, yeah.
Like, so what? You ride your bike through the streets at night. You're still rich. Go fuck your mother. Get out of here. Nobody cares.
Keanu Reeves rides a train, and he gives his money away.
And he gets up for women on the train. He let a late. I saw that video. I always like when I see Keanu Reeves with his Neo haircut. When you see him with his John Wick haircut, you want to give him like $1.50.
And when he takes pictures with women, he puts his hand like this and like kind of away from them.
Dude,
he never touches them.
Every woman around him has an invisible shield in his mind where he's just like,
there's about this much room between them.
Yeah, John Wick don't get me too'd. That's not how that works. Constantine 2 needs to be fucking made now.
He wants to do it. He wants to fucking do it.
There was rumor it was greenlit, and then that got shot to shit.
Yeah.
You know the amount of money he pulls in from all these movies, he gives a shitload of that money away. Like to I don't know what it is.
Well, Matrix, he gave a lot of it to the stuntmen. A lot like the behind the scenes crew, he gave a substantial portion of his money to. For John Wick, he bought all the stuntmen motorcycles and shit. Yeah, but that apartment's nicer than any house you and I own.
Yeah, but still, he could have like a place off in the fucking sunny areas and shit. And no,
I just think he doesn't really give a fuck, man. I think it's just one of those things of like he's content, and I think that bothers people because he's not neurotic about being a celebrity.
He's like the minimalist of Hollywood celebrities.
Although I did watch an interview. Chris Angel did an interview on Steve-O's podcast. And he was talking about David Blaine. And I found it kind of funny because he was like, yeah, I don't know what, like he told this story about how David Blaine was like, he went to go get David Blaine a ring and he was like, I want to bury the hatchet, like where this is years ago, blah, blah, blah. And David Blaine was like, oh yeah, I don't accept gifts. I'm a minimalist. He was like, okay. What? And then he's like, well, can we take a picture together? And he's like, oh no, you and I can't be in a picture together. And then Chris Angel, who I regard as kind of a weird fucker, was like, it's just fucking weird. Like, why would this guy act this way? And hearing that, I was like, okay, maybe he's not that much of a weird fucker and it's all a show. Because if he's over here just like, you could tell that's like the old school Brooklyn in him. Like, hey, you don't want to fucking, what? Really? You want to fucking take a picture with me? You know what I mean?
You got to say it like David Blaine. I don't take pictures with people.
Right now, my physical being is here, but I'm currently watching the Jetsons in my mental being at home. Get the fuck out of here, freak! Go sleep in some ice for 3 days again. That's not an illusion. You're endurance training. Like I don't know, like what?
And he wasn't really in ice. He was in a coffin of ice.
Well, I can't let it touch my body, but I'm basically an icicle in there. Okay, it's melting, right? Yeah, because I can't be refrigerated because I'm okay. And it's not touching you. No. What's the temperature in there? Like 38 really cold degree. All right. Fucking thing really melted cold. Before. Yeah, he's like, you don't understand. I'm pretty chilly willy in here. Okay, David Blaine. You be chilly willy. I used to watch Mind Freak. Terrible show, but it's fun for what it is. Horribly fake. I mean, clearly fake as fuck, but I always used to like his shitty theme song, Mind Freak. And he had that weird quasi-gay Egyptian entrance. I didn't really know what it was, but it was promiscuous, I guess. Thought-provoking. Freak your mind. Oh, I miss TV like that. I miss shitty reality TV. Like Surreal Life, shit like Mind Freak, Flavor of Love. That sort of quality shit reality TV doesn't exist anymore. My Fair Brady.
You watched Flavor of Love?
No, but we did watch Rock of Love. Yeah, okay. Dude. We have consumed some seriously trashy reality TV, and it's fun every time. If you've never done it, go on Tubi and look up The Surreal Life. Start with season 1 and tell me you don't watch all of them. I think it's on Tubi. It used to be. If not, it might be on the VH1 app. But either way, look them up. Watch the first season and tell me you're not like, all right, this is stupid and terrible, but I'm into it. It's just celebrities being human wrecks of people. It's great. I love it. I want to. Is that the one
that Vern Troyer was in?
Yep.
When he's trying to fucking carry a fucking turkey that's bigger than him.
At one point, he gets so drunk he's just sitting in his mobility scooter naked, just pissing in the room.
Wasn't he also crashing into things?
Yeah, he was a goon in that. Vanilla Ice was on one of them. Ron Jeremy was on. Speaking of pieces of shit, Ron Jeremy was on, like, literally just like the bottom D list you can get, but you still see how shitty they are, and it's like, if that celebrity's shitty and they're a D-lister, then A-listers must be holy shit, like out of this world shitty. Let's kill them all. Anyways, we don't need the movie industry. Let's all make our own movies. Everybody come to my house. We'll film something. Fuck it. Giovanni, you got to drive.
What?
We'll film it. If you crash, it's all part of the movie. All right, guys. Thank you. We're short one today. Like
hot dogs.
I'd really like.
We didn't do our hot dogs.
Oh fuck, we didn't, did we? That's your fault. Damn it, Sean.
On that
note, well, we already played it for this one. That I didn't want to. I'm not going to do two of them, but so definitely a recommend from me. I'm gonna go with a 9. I really like this movie.
I'll go. I love this movie. I forgot how good this movie was. This is a 10 easy for me. A couple reasons. The acting was solid, and I love this time period. I love it. Like, I love movies from this time period that represent this time period. I enjoyed this movie a lot, and this is an actual detective crime movie.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's got
like,
it doesn't move at a fucking snail's pace. There's actually things that the viewer's trying to connect in their head while the detectives are doing it. Meanwhile, Reptile is like, oh great, another zoomed in Benicio del Toro shot while he reads files. Okay. That's at its most of Reptile. He's like looking over files and it's like a zoomed in shot on his eyes.
That was another horror shot they did when the music kicked in. When he was on his computer looking at sinks. What the fuck are you doing? Like,
they're building up the suspense, and then it was just sinks.
It was basically like they must have had the soundtrack. They must have put it on like Fiverr, where they were like, $2,000, and you just got to score this movie. And somebody's like, all right. And they just used like royalty free shit. Like, I guess that fits. God. What you got on it, Alex?
Sean says, I want a hot dog.
I want a fucking hot dog too.
For me, this is going to be a 9 as well. I liked everything about this movie. All the acting was great. All the fucking shots. It didn't bounce back like you think a detective movie would do and show you like previous things in a different angle. It didn't do shit like that, and I like that. It lets you remember the stuff as you're going along. And all the actors did a fucking phenomenal job, man.
Yeah, dude. All like these people are all huge celebrities for a fucking reason, and you see it in this movie. Sean says director of Reptile is known for music videos. This was his first movie. Yeah, they should stick to music videos.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the soundtrack for this was actually good too, because it didn't fuck with you, like, and that's what helped with the lulls. So that's why this movie was so long, but it helped out with the right type of music to bring you along and shit, or the sounds that you hear. Whoever did the editing and the sounds was fucking good. Yeah.
The soundtrack was a bit uneven. The voices were lower than the action, but the action was pretty cranked. Like, it was pretty high up there.
And the other thing that really made me love this movie is the music. I love that fucking.
That's why I love playing the old school Mafia game, because you throw on that, or even Fallout, the Fallout radio.
Fallout, yeah.
I always have the Fallout radio going when I'm in, like, when I play Fallout 4 and shit. It's always on. When you're streaming it like 76, you really can't have it on because all that shit's copywritten. Like, even stuff.
Oh, really? That sucks.
Stuff that you would think is in the public domain is not. But I mean, one of the reasons Jen and I loved Sirius XM when we first got it is they have like 20 on 20s, 30 on 30. So like channel, and there's like the 30s and 40s. So you get like a kind of a wild range of like swing to like old mob music. And it's surprisingly calming when you're like taking a drive and you've got some song written in 45. Like, it's interesting. And that was one of the reasons we loved Sirius XM when we first got it. Now I just basically listen to Turbo. About it. Alex, you give it a 9, you said, right?
9.
All right, guys. Well, as always, thank you for watching. We'll be back next week for the Wives' Choice, which I don't know what Jen's choice is. Giovanni's wife's choice is locked in as Pretty Woman, you said?
Pretty Woman.
Do you know your wife?
Yes.
What is hers?
What's it
The
called?
Babadook?
She was saying While You Were Sleeping, but I think she might change it to Sleepless in Seattle. I don't know. Or it might even be music and lyrics. But I think
There's
she's
got
gonna
to be a
go
movie
with.
we have access to.
Yeah, I believe it's gonna be. Then I have to see out of those three. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing is like I don't own Sleepless in Seattle.
Oh, then.
I have a feeling Jen's gonna go with On the Line.
Mm.
But have you seen music and lyric?
I haven't.
That's Drew Barrymore and Hugh Grant.
Yeah, I know of it.
I hate Drew Barrymore.
I've spent most of my life avoiding Drew Barrymore movies.
It's standard.
We'll have to get Lewis's wife's choice as well. All right, everybody. I don't have an end screen done. I had like a funny test one, but I'm not. It's not what I was looking for. But yeah, we're all done. You guys have a great night. As always, we'll be in the Discord hanging out if anybody wants to join. You guys have a good evening, and we'll see you next week.